Solar company Action 9 has been investigating for the past year, has now drawn the attention of Florida's Attorney General.
Yeah, she says MC Solar scammed hundreds of Floridians, including seniors and veterans. Action 9 investigative reporter Jeff Deal has a look at the allegations and what this could mean for consumers.
This really affects consumers and Floridians statewide.
In an announcement this afternoon, Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody took to the podium to blast MC Solar, a company she says scammed hundreds of Floridians.
A large number of them seniors, some who had difficulty even understanding what they were contracting.
MC Solar is a company Action 9 first highlighted earlier this year when consumers reported paying tens of thousands of dollars for solar systems that didn't work.
We heard their pitch and they made a lot of promises.
Robert Duffendak signed a $100,000 contract with MC Solar that's based in Tampa to convert his home into a sun-loving energy producer.
But unfortunately that didn't pan out.
He showed us 8 months after signing a contract the panels weren't working. He wasn't alone. Other consumers told us they had similar issues. After getting hundreds of complaints, Moody's office is now suing the company and its owners, claiming they used deceptive and unscrupulous business practices, and it abandoned contracts, forged applications, and even threatened legal action on consumers. Moody said the owners of the company immediately started spending money on themselves.
And paying themselves, family members, living luxury lifestyles, which is what we see in these types of scams.
As for Robert Duffendak, after we inquired about his case, his panels eventually did get hooked up and are now working. Still, it was a frustrating experience.
Now, the state wants to permanently ban these individuals from engaging in many activities related to the solar industry and get restitution for the victims. The Attorney General is also looking at the possibility of bringing criminal charges. Jeff Deal, WFTV Tonight.
We reached out to MC Solar owner Danny Chopra, who lives in Orange County, for a response. So far, we have not heard back.